I am really excited for this video because I'm going to be talking about a few things that most people don't even talk about. In this video, I'm going to talk about the truth behind the medical spa industry. Let's get deep and honest. Okay, so in this video, I'm peeling back the curtains of the inside of the med spa industry, and I am going to talk about something that I've never heard anyone talk about. We're going to debunk some truths about how profitable are med spas, and a lot of med spas are not profitable. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but this is the absolute truth. And if you are a nurse practitioner, physician assistant, or entrepreneur looking to open a med spa, you're going to want to watch this video because I want to talk about how to price your product, strategize, and make you the most profit. So if you are new and if you're just a regular civilian and you really have never visited a med spa, I'm going to talk about exactly what a med spa is and let you know the difference between the two, like a traditional spa and actual med spa. So to get started, an actual med spa is a spa-like atmosphere that render medical services such as Botox. Botox is a neuromodulator and it's a paralytic, so it paralyzes the muscle, and also fillers. So filler is a lot of fillers. They can be either hyaluronic acid or not, but basically these are centers that have medical, highly trained staff such as RNs, nurse practitioners, physicians, and physician assistants performing cosmetic. Most of them are non-surgical medical spas. I don't see a lot of big med spas that are surgery based. So the first thing I want to talk about is startup costs. In order to start a med spa, it could be a pretty heavy ticket, right? So you got to focus on marketing, leasing a space. The first thing I want to talk about is the cost. So starting a med spa can be a heavy ticket. You have to lease a space, you have to invest in marketing, equipment, materials, slides, and you also have to pay your staff. So it can be pretty heavy, and then ongoing expenses, including more marketing and all payroll. So when you think about it, these things can typically add up and it can cut into your profit margins, especially when you don't price your product accordingly and you discount your services, which we got to talk about next. And also when you choose services that have low profit margins, which we're going to talk about now. So we don't want to forget about competition. So when you think about it, the med spa industry is highly competitive and it's become more competitive over the last few years. A lot of people have been leaving bedside and coming into the more aesthetic, cosmetic realm, which is perfectly fine. But because the industry is booming, it's becoming more competitive. And in my professional opinion, the aesthetic world is a lucrative world, and it really could be, but a lot of healthcare professionals don't really understand business. So they come in and then they offer the same realm of services, or they offer services that have low profit margins, and then they discount themselves, and it's like a race to the bottom. And they end up just in this rat race with no retention and people who are discount shoppers. So that's something you don't want to do. And also, in order to stand out, which we'll talk about, you have to be more niche specific, but we'll continue this video. So I want to talk a little bit about profit margin comparison. One of the key aspects that I get often when I see a lot of nurses in general, a few nurse practitioners on like my Instagram and my TikTok, because I've been on that platform the longest, so I'm more familiar with it and I have a bigger following. But when we think about popular services, so I see a lot of people offer IV hydration therapy, and I think that's the absolute wrong service to offer. Yes, it's easy. All you need is protocols. If you're a nurse, you don't really need anything but protocols and vendors so you could order supplies from. But when you are a solopreneur, IV therapy is probably one of the worst services you could honestly offer, because you need to be focused on time to room to cost to profit margins and also the capacity. So I'm going to compare two different type of services that is fairly popular in nature, and that's going to be number one, IV therapy, and number two, dermal fillers. So the ticket on IV therapy, for number's sake, we're going to just say $200, and for dermal fillers, we're going to just say $600. That's a lower end. Fillers, depending on the price, could be anywhere between $600, which is very low, and like $1,200. But let's just say low. Let's just say $600. So when you think about it, IV hydration takes about 45 minutes to an hour to administer, and then also it takes up the whole room. Most people do not like to have this type of service with other people around. Patient privacy has also been a rising concern. And then the cost of the actual product, the bag, the solution, the medication, rejuvenation, vitamin C, glutathione, all that good stuff. So the materials can be kind of costly. Now let's think about dermal fillers. Dermal fillers, which is hyaluronic acid, let's just say hyaluronic HAs, tend to be a little more of a profitable service. When you think about it, the treatment time is shorter. It's usually between 20 and 30 minutes. And then also the profit margin is a little higher. So it leads to a higher profit margin when it comes to actual product, in addition to time to treatment, to capacity of said operations. So to give you a clear number example, because I'm a numbers person, I'm a visual person, let's say we have one room and you have IV hydration in one room for $200 for 8 hours, because that's how long you've opened for the day. You open 8 hours a day. So that means in a perfect world, please, this is a perfect world scenario. In a perfect world, you will yield a profit of the gross, not anything else. You will yield a gross profit of $1,600. In a week, you'll yield a profit of $6,400, said that you open for 40 hours. So 8 times 5 is 40. Let's compare that to dermal filler. So dermal filler, let's say on the lowest ticket item, I've never seen dermal filler this low unless it's concerning, but it's in the story, $600. So $600 for 8 hours is, let's say in a perfect world, that you saw 2 people, because we're going by hours. So if you saw 2 people at $600 per treatment and it took you 30 minutes to do, you made $1,200 in 8 hours. So $1,200 times 8 is $9,600. So you see where I'm kind of going with this. And let's say in a perfect world, again, perfect world scenario, if you saw 2 patients every hour on an hour, nobody had any cancellations, you can make around $48,000 versus $6,400. So when you're a newpreneur, especially a solopreneur, you're not like this super big corporation and establishment with multiple rooms and you have delegatable staff, I don't think it's wise to open an IV hydration Medspa. But that's another video and I will get more into detail about that. Also, I do want to touch on this. Think about patient lifetime value. Dermal fillers are usually a lifestyle choice. People usually get lip fillers repeatedly. They'll come every 6 months. They'll come every 6 to 8 months, whether it's the lips, it could be the cheeks. It's more of a lifestyle. So when you think about the lifetime value of a client or customer, patient, whatever you want to call them, you got to think about that too. IV hydration is not more of a lifestyle treatment. It's more of I'll try it or I'm hungover. It's not something that people are coming back every 6 to 8 months to get. And then you think about selling treatment packages, right? So you can sell a few syringes. So let's say and then it's not scalable. So when you think about, you can't hook 2 people with IVs and have all these IVs in them during one hour, but you can definitely give multiple syringes in 1 hour. That makes sense? Even to the same person. I've done 4 syringes on one person, which is taking me the full hour, but I just made like $2,800 because we did some Veloma and all of this stuff, which is I charge $800 a syringe, but I don't want to get too complicated. So let's keep things simple. But however, it's not all about the profit margins. It's about maximizing profits in the med spa so you can have a better quality of life and you cannot feel overworked and get a volume of patients. Because I'd rather actually have 10 patients a week who giving me $2,000, which is $20,000 versus 50 patients in a week who's only giving me $100 or even $200, because I have to work harder, work longer, and I make less. And we're not trying to do that. Okay, we've done enough of that in the hospital. So when it comes to maximizing profit, it definitely involves careful planning, diversifying your treatment services, being very niche specific, also creating unique selling propositions, and having top-notch customer service. That is actually one of the complaints, and that's going to be my next video of the top 10 complaints. Med spa customers. So some potential solutions will include like strategic planning, business planning, partnering with someone who truly understands the aesthetic world. And I know sometimes that can be a little complicated because you really don't know how to vet certain people and what they have accomplished. And I do feel like that is a barrier to some clinicians, especially like RNs who want to kind of branch out and open a med spa, because unfortunately with social media, we kind of don't know who's the truth and who's not. And even if they are doing okay, everyone appears to be winning, when it may not be the case, because it's just typically not. Planning strategically, offering top-notch treatment, as well as marketing and targeting, which I'm going to make a whole new video about marketing completely separate. And also think about the success in the medical spa industry. It's like any other business, but it's not guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed, but you also want to reduce your risk because a medical spa is a high-risk business. It's high turnover, staff as well as customers. It's high investment. It's a high failure rate and also high liability. You are injecting things in people's bodies. So this definitely definitely requires careful planning, hard work, a deep understanding of the market and your customer avatar, something I call customer persona. So not just understanding demographics that's so on the surface, age, and you want to understand personal psychographics, hobbies, interests. And that does come with coaching, to be honest. It comes with consulting. I wouldn't even say the coaching because I don't like the word coaching. I like the word consultant, with someone who truly understands the industry and can strategize on exactly how to make the most profit, work less. And also a touch of patience, guys. We got to be a little more patient with return on investment. But with the right mindset, the strategies, the right consultant, profitability can definitely be achieved. And the good news is I'm going to even dive deeper into this topic in my upcoming videos. I'll be talking more about specific treatment services, maximizing your profit by strategically focusing on the right areas, right avatar, services combining therapies, as well as exploring how to save your precious time and energy by incorporating these things into your practice. Now, if you're excited just like I am on my new YouTube embarking journey, I'm going to be uploading once a week. That's the amount I can commit at this moment. If you are interested in any of my consulting or strategy services, my link will be in the bio. And then you must just fill out the form to the best of your ability. Hit the like button and make sure you turn on notifications because I will be uploading these videos. I am committed to you guys as long as you're committed to me. And also, your journey to a profitable med spa is just honestly a click away. And I want to thank you guys for watching. And also, I'll see you in the next video. But remember, success is not by doing more, but by making the most of what you do. Stay tuned, stay successful, and most importantly, stay profitable.